What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 341. Well, I don't know what I really expected. I really don't. I like Cath's design. That cover page was nice. Cath looks cool. Cath's Palog looks, like a mutated thing that Disney would draw up, sort of idea. Like, I'm good with it. It looks cool. That's about where this chapter making kind of sense. Meliodas makes a little bit of sense. And we get a shout out to my favorite character, Escanor, in this chapter. Gone but not forgotten, it seems. And that's where it ends. Because this chapter opens up with, remember, Gother at the end of the last chapter, this was intriguing from the last chapter. Gother was going to say, you don't understand at all, Meliodas. And it was like, Gother, what are you talking about? We get to see what he means by this. And in theory, this sounds nice. This sounds like they should feel bad. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Merlin. Like, she's not a spoiled brat. Which, once again, she still is. I didn't even take into account when I said that in the last review, that she did stop her own time. Does that mean that she also mentally stopped her, maturity, her growth? Because I'm under that firm impression that she's literally halted not only her physical time, but up here as well. She might be a genius up here, but a 12-year-old genius is still not got a 30-year-old's maturity. Once again. So, that could be the case here too, because what Gother says at the beginning of the chapter, it sounds good in theory, as I said, but it goes on a line saying that we all had desires. Merlin wanted A, sort of idea. It's, okay, here's what happened. Merlin wanted something, an innocent desire. And just like Deanne said at the celebration, we all wanted something. We all had a wish we wanted granted. Bond, myself, Meliodas, we all wanted something. King, we all wanted something. Merlin wanted this. Would we have truly helped her, though? Her wish was the resurrection of chaos and the revival of the King of Chaos in Arthur. Right off the bat, I still have an issue here because that doesn't justify. This is the nitpick part. That doesn't justify doing this because we still don't know the reason. Everybody else's reason you can get behind. It's called love. Bond's desire is because he's in love with Elaine and he wants her to live. Meliodas' desire is because he loves Elizabeth and wants her to live. Gother's desire, well, that was kind of like keep the friends and Nadja and stuff, but still love, friendship and love. Take your pick with Gother. King and Deanne's, they love each other. All the Sin's desires were straightforward and we could get behind the reason why. I still don't, as a reader, I still don't understand Merlin's reasoning in resurrect chaos and make Arthur the king of chaos. How is it going to solve her problem? Why is that her wish? Why chaos? We got the backstory, but we still don't have the why. We need the why for everything to make sense. And Gother in this chapter seems to think like that's self-explanatory. No, it's not. Why does Merlin, who has been rejected by Meliodas, well, not even rejected, she was already in love, she liked, as a little girl, she liked somebody else, she has some daddy issues, and she liked the first guy who looked at her, right? Whatever. So, and that guy's already spoken for. So she feels that little bit of an ache in her heart. But unlike, 12, 13-year-old girls that go through, elementary and junior high and realize there's more guys out there than your first teacher crush, that, regardless of that, she also, how's that supposed to fill her void? She can't hate them. She can't be in love with him. So she's going to resurrect an ancient god-like entity because? Like, seriously, because if her reasoning was he wants her to, I can't think of a good reason. He wants Merlin wants to forget that feeling, and only the God of Chaos could do it. I think Gother has some words on memory manipulation and feeling manipulation. Temporarily, maybe she wants an amplification of Gother's magic, but we don't even know that. Does she want to forget? Is that why she wants Chaos? If she resurrects Chaos, does she think Chaos will grant her wish and she'll forget all about Meliodas and her feelings towards him? But that hasn't been said or stated. It's still not told to us, so I don't accept that reasoning. The other part goes in line, and I probably should have led with this because that nitpick seemed to last, 3 minutes of a rant. The other part is that Gother stands there and says that was Merlin's wish. And though it might have been an innocent desire, would we have truly actually helped her? Had she been honest with us, had she told us point blank, this is what she wanted, would we have honestly helped her? We would have been one-sided in going against her wishes, even though she's helped us with all of our sort of reasoning, telling her that it was dangerous or she shouldn't do that. Yeah! Maybe because it is goddamn dangerous. Did you ever consider that? Maybe it is. I'm sorry. Everybody's got desires and wishes. I mean, I can think of a few dictators in history that wished for some genocidal things, and maybe that their wish shouldn't be granted just because you feel bad. I'm sure there were friends of some dictators who were sitting around having a drink being like, yeah, man, we got a great circle of friends here. We're going to help each of us with our life goals. What's your life goal? I want to eliminate an entire race of people. Good for you. We're with you. Pick up a rifle and let's start the Holocaust. Like, no. No, maybe because it is dangerous. Maybe because we shouldn't do that. Like, I think that Gother is missing some of the point here, or Nakaba doesn't understand how we cannot get behind this. This desire, this wish, first off, still doesn't have the why. So even if she gave a reason, she hasn't yet. So I can't get behind, even if it was a simple wish. How am I supposed to be invested or involved in someone's wish when they don't tell me why? I can get behind, I want Elaine to be resurrected. Bond's in love with her, and we know it. King Deanne, in love with each other. Love is the answer for the entirety of the 7 Deadly Sins, except for Merlin. Well, sort of, it's the betrayal feeling, but how is Chaos going to solve it? That's the problem. Like, if I have a math equation, if I have the formula, I can solve it. But if you hand me a bunch of random numbers and don't give me a formula, how am I supposed to know if I ever come up with the right answer? If we say, Merlin plus Chaos equals wish granted, that's fine, but why is Merlin plus Chaos equal wish granted? What wish? What wish? What is that going to accomplish? Like, Bond plus Elaine equals love. Love is a good answer. Like, I just don't... I can't get behind this because we're still lacking in information. I don't even think Nakaba has a good reason, and he's delaying and delaying and delaying. I can't get behind this at all. It just doesn't make sense. It's supposed to sound good. It's supposed to. And Merlin's supposed to say, Merlin's helped us all in the past with all of our desires, but your guys' desires were personal. Gother, this doesn't make sense. Once again, it's appropriate that this is coming from the doll, who still doesn't have the full... And at the end of the day, Meliodas says, yeah, that's fine and dandy. Meliodas, once again, the shining beacon in this chapter, other than Cath's design, is Meliodas basically saying, yeah, but no. Chaos is still dangerous. This is a bad idea, and she needs to take responsibility for it. Thank you! Just because you got a kid who found his dad's gun and he always wanted, you don't not scold the child. Could have killed themselves, could have killed other people, right? And remember, Merlin is still a 12-year-old brat at the end of the day, and I am fully convinced of this now, that she's got the mentality of a spoiled 12-year-old who has daddy issues, and this, I can't get behind this. I just can't, I like Gother now as a character, and I feel like this speech could have done something to convince us, but everything is ignoring the big elephant in the room. Why resurrect chaos? A very dangerous, that's like saying, oh, we'll give you the nuclear launch codes if it makes you feel better. We don't really know why you need nukes to make you feel better, Merlin. We have no idea why having the nuclear launch codes to the world's nukes will make you feel better that Meliodas doesn't love you. But I'm sure we should support you having the nuclear launch codes because reasons. It doesn't make any sense. I just can't get behind this. Meliodas, thankfully, just says, yeah, fine, Dandy, but no. Because everyone says, oh, well, Merlin has used the power to help us. And King is fighting this, but losing battle. And Bond starts agreeing and stuff. It's like Escanor would say the same thing, but they move it on as though it's a totally different issue. That's my problem with the speech. The speech is going one direction, very badly for Merlin, where Merlin is wrong, because she is. Then they try to turn the tables, or Gother does, saying that Merlin's power helped us all in the past. Okay. So, because Merlin has power and she used it to help us, we should accept that she should have God-level abilities and just let it run rampant in a relatively now peaceful world since they won the battle. And everything should be okay. Don't account for any of the death and destruction that we got here along the way. Like, oh man. It's just painful. It's actually painful to read because... And then Gother goes on this nice part where he's like, I am neither a doll. They go back to that whole, maybe the Lady of the Lake. Like, stop changing the subject here. They're trying to, like, cram a bunch of separate conversations into one. There's no build up to that. All of a sudden, King randomly says, after they were talking about Merlin shouldn't have this power or have released it. Then we go to, yeah, well, Merlin's helped us. Okay, well, that's a bit of a tangent, but I can get, oh, and can humans and other species truly understand each other? First off, once again, Bond, and even though they make a reference to this where King says that Bond, because Bond and King don't get along sort of idea, King doesn't even consider Bond actually human. Once again, that's a bullshit line. How can they understand each other? Well, Elizabeth was human up until friggin' 5 days ago. Elizabeth has been human this entire time. You have Escanor, who is human the entire time, and Bond. I don't care that he drank the Fountain of Youth. He's still a goddamn human. Merlin is human. That's four characters. What do you mean understand? Even if that was your whole reasoning, you have multiple main characters who are of the same species. So by that logic, oh, Meliodas and Merlin cannot understand each other because he's a demon, you're a human. Okay, so Bond can't understand that. Elizabeth can't understand. Escanor can't understand. How does that make any sense? Like, the logic here is just... And once again, where did this come from? Because Gother has a nice line saying that I'm neither a human nor a demon nor of any species. I am a doll. I am unique. But I have this feeling of treasuring you all in my heart with ways I can't... And I'm like, that's nice. That's nice flowery words. But once again, that doesn't apply to the situation. Gother's speech was nice. The whole thing. Everything was nice that he was sticking up for Merlin, that he was bringing up these good points. But it was more for him. I don't think he fully grasped the situation. It was nice, but it's still in the wrong. That's what I'm saying. If Trump got up tomorrow and said some flowery words, I mean, he's terrible at that. He's never said a nice thing in his life. But if he got up there and said some flowery words while nuking 3 countries, I mean, do those countries really care? Do they care that he had nice words to say? Like, it just... I can't get behind any of this. The only other good thing out of the speech is that Bond says, yeah, I think Escanor would say the same thing. And I'm like, once again, had she not released chaos in this whole Demon King thing, Escanor would still be there. He wouldn't have died because Merlin wouldn't have been a selfish brat. And he would be there to say it for himself. Okay, next half of the chapter. Okay, I just checked the time code on the last part of this review. If I keep bitching like this is going to go on for 35 minutes. So we're going to try to wrap this up quickly because I'm just going to keep regurgitating the same problems and the same points and the same bullshit. The next half of the chapter, Cath is beating the shit out of Merlin. Arthur decides I'll be your opponent, so I guess he's fine now. Tries to cut him up, that doesn't work. It's like, I mean, it's making sense, but once again, it's not making sense. If he only has a part of chaos, how is Arthur with all of chaos not able to damage his head? Whatever. Moving on. So, Arthur basically gets a line here, the whole as Meliodas feared, and it doesn't sound good. It could be a translation thing. I have a responsibility to as a king to my people. I will eliminate anything and everything that comes to my kingdom as a threat. It's like, oh, great. I've heard that line, for the greater good. Yeah. I've heard that line before. Getting some Luda flashbacks here. All for the sake of peace. All for the greater good. Fucking Light Yagami, I swear, said the same thing before. Though all those who oppose me, they are the truly evil ones. Like, jeez. Man, oh man. So I'm kind of fearful that that's going to happen. Meliodas' thing is going to come true. Because now, Cath has said basically mockingly, like, guess what? Camelot's destroyed. Take a look for yourself. Merlin tries to console him. Arthur just kind of like, no. And even though Merlin says, look, all the people, most of them, yes, some people died, but most of them are in Leonis. They're fine. Your people are still there. Yes, we need to rebuild the buildings, but that's just buildings. Did you not see what Merlin did to Leonis overnight after Hendrickson fight? Like, so this should all be just fine. Like, he's so worried about the land for some reason. And then he's worried about those few people that didn't make it out. We finally get Nanashi. Where are you at, bud? Nanashi here in this little, like, him thinking about, like, what about all these people that are waiting for loved ones? I said I would save everyone. Of course, once again, the naivety, the impossible goal of Arthur here, thinking he could save everyone while goddamn unconscious and losing to the demons. What did you think was going to happen? It's called war. Your country was taken over. It's war. There's going to be war crimes. No one's going to get away scot-free. This universe does not have the Dragon Balls. You might be a close second to the Dragon Balls if you can focus this power that supposedly creates gods. But, so you should be able to actually rewind time. Time travel. Change the thing. And that's my answer. Time travel. Time travel. Arthur is going to time travel to the beginning of the series, prevent all this shit from happening. But at this point, basically Arthur can't seem to cope with it. He's starting to sweat. He's like, I can't take this. All those people that were waiting in the underground for me, are they alive? Are they dead? He can't tell. Cath basically stomps on him. Merlin's still trying to fight. It's not working. Cath is owning it, her ass. Finally, good. Then Meliodas shows up with full counter. And I'm like, okay, we haven't seen full counter in a good long while. As Cath explained that it was a fight between the Demon King and the Seven Deadly Sins, basically tore Camelot apart and all that stuff. So now, when Arthur wakes up, he's probably going to start lashing out at them and decide, I'm going evil, sort of idea. So this is going to be cliche as hell. So, I mean, if you were hoping, ladies and gentlemen, if you were hoping, like I was hoping that this return of Cath was going to be that, we thought Cath was killed off in one chapter. Oh, no, Cath is back, and this will be a long-running thing. Why do I have a feeling that we have Endura 2.0 here in Cath, and then Arthur's going to wake up with the personality with the black eyes instead of the bright ones, Why do I have this feeling? Maybe because Nakaba is a shitty writer. I don't know. Man. And then, so Meliodas shows up. Excuse me. Meliodas shows up, full counter. Elizabeth heals Merlin. She's shocked. Why are you two here? It's not all of us. And the Seven Deadly says, hey, Merlin, what's going on? And none of this is making any sense to me. Okay, so Meliodas goes up to Merlin and says, I need you to take responsibility for what you did to Chaos. You need to protect Arthur for the rest of your life. And it's our fault that this happened in the first place. So we're going to protect you, who's protecting Arthur. Merlin's like, I don't need to be told that. I am grateful. That's the end of the chapter. Okay, how much time I got? Alright, so I'm about 20 minutes into a review here. None of this makes any sense. Not a goddamn word of it. Maybe it's because I'm a little hungover. I don't know. But I really hate this chapter. I hate it. The beginning part and speech didn't make any sense. Meliodas the only one with a goddamn brain on his head saying, well, yeah, but she's still resurrected, basically. Never mind, we already went over that. And then here, he's basically saying, he keeps using those flowery words. It's just like Gother, he's no better. He keeps using flowery words like he's going to do something about it. You need to take responsibility. We're going to let you off the hook. What? It's our fault? No! No, it's not. No, it's not. You guys are not responsible for Merlin being a spoiled brat. None of you are. She is the reason Escanor is dead. That Camelot has been destroyed. That the Ten Commandments were released. According to the Lady of the Lake, she's responsible for every bad thing in Taizai that ever happened. So, you're just going to say, oh, you know that thing you wanted to do from the very beginning and we still don't really know why because Nakaba hasn't explained yet? The whole, let's protect Arthur and stay by Arthur's side? That's your punishment. Your punishment is to do what you wanted to do from the get-go. I'm so irritated by this chapter. I'm actually flushed. It's getting really hot in here. So, what do you guys say? Am I totally off my rocker? Am I just tired from the already long week? Am I hungover too much? Is it something else? Let me know. Am I talking out my ass? I have to know. If you disagree with every point, if you want to hit dislike, go ahead. Tell me in the comments why I'm wrong. But I really do want your guys' feedback. I hope it's constructive and not full of negatives. But if you disagree with me, please let me know. I have to know if I'm just talking out my ass with this one. Because I hated this thing. I read this chapter when it dropped. I was hammered last night. I read it, and I came up with the same points that I've presented here. With the whole, especially the whole, we would have been one-sided against her wish because it's dangerous. Yeah, maybe because it is. Maybe because it is. A 12-year-old comes up to you and says she wants to play with Daddy's hunting rifle. You don't go, oh, I'm sorry, here you go. You should get your wish fulfilled. No, that's dangerous. You don't give your kid a gun. She's still a 12-year-old as far as I'm concerned, and she hasn't actually exhibited for this entire series that she's anything but a spoiled 12-year-old brat. So, anyways, like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. Don't forget to hit the bell notification and or join the Discord if you guys want to know every single time I drop a video. This has been Griever with your 7 Deadly Sins, chapter 341, chapter review. My God, it was shit. Drink responsibly, because clearly I can't tonight.